I don't know, people. I don't know. I hate it when I have to watch the monitor of the stream, the data going woo, woo, woo. It's like the stock market. Just want it to be stable. That's all I ask for. Maybe AI can fix it for me. What do you think, Julie Davis?
I think it can.
Doug, you got an
that's
opinion?
today.
That's today. You gonna come?
What time is it?
6:30.
Okay, we'll see. I have something at 5:30.
Boy, I tell you what, you guys are having a good conversation that I was not paying attention to. That sounded kind of delightful. So,
Yeah.
talking
About groups coming to town.
Are
It
you?
is delightful.
Oh, that is delightful.
Yeah.
Who's coming to town?
Well, this week we have an MG car club at the YO.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that. And then Aaron's been working on getting a U.S. running marathon group here. And hopefully they're booking that. Hopefully they booked it last Friday.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Who's Aaron? Your new person?
My salesperson.
Your salesperson.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was her first piece of business that she
I
reached
saw
out to.
Cindy.
You go, Aaron, you
I saw
go.
Cindy on Saturday, by the way.
Yeah. She was at
the
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo for the Doyle Center.
Her mom is so excited she made the lead. I cannot even tell you.
Really?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, because they're new to Kerrville. They've only been here,
Her mom had.
only maybe a month.
Oh, really?
I could be a little off on that, but about a month. And so she's feeling quite famous that she already made the lead.
That's great.
Yeah.
And
She had a great time at Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo was nice. It was a nice event. Saturday was crazy.
Yes.
Saturday was one of those days. It was one of those CVB kind of days. We had the Shatter the Stigma run that started off the day, and then I had the Golden Girls thing at 2:00 when they had one at 2 and 7. Mm-hmm. Wasn't your daughter a Golden Girl?
Nope.
No.
She went to OLH.
Oh,
She was a cheerleader.
No, so same concept, but it was delightful. It was packed at Arcadia.
Mm-hmm.
The Tail Chasers thing, right?
Tail Chasers.
Tail Chasers opened,
Tail Chasers was my biggest story of the weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was exciting.
Leslie looked like she was having fun in there.
Leslie was having fun. So, and then Saturday night, we closed off the night with, we went over to Turtle Creek.
Oh, yeah.
And I bought Joe 3 a bunch of drinks. So,
Nice. Nice.
I told Leslie, I didn't realize I paid for everybody, but apparently when you drink some wine with people, you
get more generous.
You get more generous.
I see.
I almost
Good
fought
to
a guy
know.
though. I did almost fight a guy. So.
You almost fought a guy.
Yeah, he was making me mad.
I thought you said you almost bought him.
Well, he was disparaging journalism because the Kentucky Derby was on, and Sovereignty beat journalism for the Kentucky Derby thing. But I was like, hey, at least journalism beat publisher. So there you go. That was the deal.
Some good journalism jokes right there.
Wow.
So the guy was like, oh, so it's fake news. And I'm like, I heard that.
Oh, no.
I go, I'm a journalist. I heard what you just said, and I'm not putting up with it. So,
Oh, my goodness.
So we almost got into fights.
All right.
So that was me.
Man, I missed an
I know.
exciting
It was
Saturday.
exciting.
Apparently, wine swells the ego as well.
But I stood behind Leslie though. So
Yeah, that's what we all do.
I know. So that was what I did.
She's the intimidating factor.
Intimidating factor of the whole thing. I felt bad. Kylie Gazelle had some good news for us.
I know.
too.
She was talking about scams.
I know. I shouldn't call
So
it
beware.
Beware.
We don't know what the scam is, but don't click the link.
I had a
That's
situation.
my advice.
I had a situation yesterday with Meta that they asked me to do something for them. I get an email from them to look at something, and I was like, okay, this seems normal. This seems right. So like Facebook has several little streets named after it, and wherever I can't remember if their headquarters in San Leandro or in Northern California.
Okay.
And their address is 1 Meta way for actually the platform piece of it. And I was like, this does not seem right. But then I had to log into Facebook, and I'm like, I have done so much to protect myself from phishing before. And I've gotten things from Facebook previously that I knew were fishy, phishing things.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. But it wasn't. So I was like, boy, but it made me nervous. I was like, this better not be a scam. So, because they're so sophisticated now. That's
are.
That's
I got
the challenge.
one this weekend
Yeah.
too that I was like, I think this
They make
is
it look
a
so real.
Facebook
I know.
scam.
The other one that's annoying too, which is totally fake, but it would catch you off guard. Like did I actually go through a toll booth?
Oh, those stupid
Yeah.
text
Yeah.
messages. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Apparently, I'm getting reported to the police this week, according to the most
Oh,
recent
that's
one I
cool.
got.
Really?
Yeah, for not paying my toll.
Doug, did you get reported to the police for anything?
No, but I did some reporting.
Did you?
I'm not going to tell that story on air, though.
You know, Doug, in your business though, are they getting more sophisticated, the thieves, or are they just getting dumber?
They're just idiots. Yeah, they think they can turn around and stuff a whole T-shirt and a pair
That
of pants
there's no
down their
cameras
shorts.
in Gibson's
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
And,
No.
you know, yeah, no.
That's not good.
Anyway, yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah, we get a lot of that. So Rodney's on it.
Rodney is
There
on
you
it.
go.
Yeah, we call him Columbo because
Columbo,
he'll find
yeah.
you.
He'll find
will find
you. He'll get you taken care of.
Dude, I'm telling you, steal a piece of gum.
Loss
He's on it.
prevention,
Yep.
he's there.
He is
He's-
non-forgiving.
What is has there been any sophistication in any of your thievery there? Just people just shoplifting though?
Yeah, it's just basic shoplifting.
Isn't it amazing though? People just feel the need to come in and just steal stuff though. I mean,
You know,
I don't understand the fascination
I
of
don't.
that.
Well, I think sometimes there are people. I mean, I had a conversation with a woman once who stole a whole bunch of stuff, and she was in my office crying her eyes out and stuff, and knew she did it, and she just had no real reason why. Her husband made a bunch of money. He's local, and I'm like, go get yourself help, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not here judging you. I
that
just
the-
want my money for my stuff.
I guess is the thrill of it. Is that? The reason?
Yeah, there's whatever.
Some
There's some
people, I
psychological
guess.
stuff involved. Yeah, and then other people, they really do need stuff, but they have to understand that you can't take stuff for free.
Yeah. And then I'm sure some people want to profit by selling it later
Yes,
too.
we-
Like a
we-
little bit of a
We had a lot of that last
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
yeah.
What was the what do they try to steal the most? Do you know what is the thing?
Well,
Clothes?
for a while, it's a little bit of everything, but for a while there, the youngsters were coming in and they were stealing BB guns and they were selling them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we've moved all those behind the counter now, so you can't do that anymore.
Crafty.
Yeah.
That is crafty.
And they would just sell them on, it wasn't Facebook Marketplace, but something like that,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But yeah, strangely, we get a lot of people that think it's a clever idea to swap hats. They'll bring their old scuzzy old hat and then put a new one on and walk out.
That's gross.
It is gross, yeah. And of course, we find them instantly because we find this scuzzy old hat and go, oh, who walked in wearing that? Oh, that guy.
That is gross.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Huh, he walked in with a green hat and out
Came
with a
out
blue
with a red
one.
eye. Yeah,
Wonder who it
exactly.
was.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, anyway, yeah, for the most part, it's just don't be a thief.
Yeah.
Period. And definitely don't do it at Gibson's because you're going to get caught.
It's so frustrating because you guys have cameras on every aisle too.
Yeah, and we're getting more.
Yeah.
So anyway,
We got things going on this week, Julie Davis. We
do.
There's a lot. There's like 80 some events this week, and it's Mother's Day. What are you gonna do for Mother's Day? Any ideas?
We're taking my mother out on Saturday. So on Saturday is my Mother's Day.
all right.
Okay.
Sunday is my
preemptive.
Mother's Day.
Is your mother
preemptive.
pretty well behaved or not?
Oh, is she watching? No, it's early. She's not watching. She is feisty.
Is she?
She's very feisty.
No.
Yeah,
I
it
like
is
that.
good.
I like that
It is
idea.
good.
I like the idea of a fight.
She keeps us on our toes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just that's how my mom is. And
She's a little tiny Irish lady.
I kind of wish I could go back to California for a couple days, at Mother's Day, just so I can hit my brother in the chest right in front of
yeah,
my
for
mother.
Mother's Day, just to remind
Just
your
to
mom.
remind my mother. That's the thing.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't have put up with that. We wouldn't have been able to hit each other.
Yeah. We still do it. To
But
irritate her.
we didn't have. We're boys and girls.
And
Sometimes
what's
that makes a
funny
difference.
is that my mother will complain about my younger brother, and bitterly sometimes, because he's kind of, he's one of those kids. But so I'm the oldest and the middle and then the youngest. And the middle brother, Christopher, and I, we'll grab him and hit him.
Oh,
Even I'm 54.
what's the age? How much younger is he?
He's 6 years younger than me.
Oh,
basically.
okay.
Yeah. So
We were not allowed to abuse the baby of the family at all.
who was that? Your brother?
Rose.
Your
No, my sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the baby of the
well,
family.
that's my point. Is that even to this day,
She is still
even to
the
this
baby
day,
of the family.
we grab him and we hit him, and she's like, "Stop hitting him. He's delicate." She's really mad.
Yes.
Like,
Rosemary is the baby of the family. She just turned 42
Yeah.
last week, and she is still the baby Rose. My mom calls her the baby Rose.
I think I told you I have a video of it somewhere. I was with my brothers a couple years ago in San Diego, and they were playing video games like idiots, and so I was continually like hitting my brother Christopher's like with my foot, like I was hitting his like elbow, and he just got so mad at me. He's like, "God damn it, Lois!" Screaming at me like he was so mad because I was messing up whatever. I don't even know what video game he was even playing.
Quite the pest you
I
are.
know, Goat
I'd
Simulator.
probably cuss at you
something
too.
like that. It wasn't nearly as bad as I was kicking the back of Leslie's chair at that trio thing, 3 of a kind of a
Man.
case you see. But anyway, all right. What do we got
What
going
a
on?
joy
this week?
you are to be around.
I know, it's
Starting
terrific.
fights.
I know.
Okay.
Terrific.
Annual roundup still going on over at the Museum of Western Art, 42nd annual there. They have 150 Western artists on display. You
Yes.
can buy art. And then they'll also had Wild West Wine
I
Wednesday
had
on
my
Wednesday.
top 5, by the way.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Here's the thing, though. I did my top 5 before seeing it in person. I just did it off the catalog.
Oh.
But my impressions might changed after I saw things in person.
True.
But I'm not going to share that with you now. So.
Okay.
But that's why I have to go see it, though.
Yeah. No, it's
You know.
entirely different in person.
Yeah.
So go check that out on Wednesday. You can also go to their Wild West Wine Wednesday event at 5:30 in the evening, which is always fun. A fun way to go see the art. You get a little alcohol at the same time. Arts and Cultural Center has 3 different exhibits going on right now. If you want to go check that out. Friends of the Library book sale tomorrow. Wild West Wine Wednesday tomorrow, as I said. Sprouts reading program on Thursday at 10:30 for your preschoolers. Arcadia Live Theater has the iconic film series on Thursday with Grease. Hoodwinked kicks off at the Hill Country Arts Foundation stage.
That should be
this
delightful.
weekend. It should be, so you could take mom to it,
I could.
y'all. You could take her to any of these things, honestly. There's an exhibit opening over at the Hill Country Arts Foundation, Easy on the Eye, on the 9th. That opens. Senior lunch and bingo at the Doyle Community Center on the 9th from 12 to 2. Live music at Pint and Plow and Cafe at the Ridge. Eagles Tribute Band will be on the Arcadia Live Theater stage on the 9th from 8 to 9:30. There's live music at the YO. Introduction to Native Landscape. Let's see, at the library on the 10th. Heart of the Hills Farmers Market on the 10th. And I understand they've added like a large produce area now to
Yes.
that. And then you also have the other farmers market right there at 5 Points. I don't think they've gotten added to the calendar, so I don't remember their name. But
The 5 Points one is a heritage market, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
so they were on the show last week. But anyway, go check it out. Let's see. Lost my place. Butterfly Walk and Talk at the Riverside Nature Center from 1 to 2. Big Fix has their 20th anniversary fundraising celebration, which that is kind of crazy that that's been around 20 years.
That is amazing,
From 2 to
isn't it?
6. Yeah. Live music at Cafe at the Ridge. Inn of the Hill. So lots of stuff like that. CurvilleCrafted.com.
The Christian Women's Job Corps this
That's-
later today is having
That
its,
is today.
Today is having its style show.
Yes.
Over at the Inn of the Hills.
Yes.
So, are you going to go to that?
I am. I actually forgot I was going to that. So now that you brought it up, it is
Now
on my
that I've
calendar.
reminded you
I
of
feel
this
like I need
as
to go
well.
change clothes.
Yes.
Because I dressed more casual than I would normally would.
Normally would. When? Okay, tell me though your event though, and let me tell you this. I saw a thing. There's a woman on TikTok and Instagram. Her handle is Vegas Starfish.
Okay.
And she is probably one. There's a couple of like really preeminent, sort of TikToker, blogger, video bloggers about the business climate of Vegas. And there's one guy
Okay.
who's really annoying, but he's got some interesting insights. They're interesting people to listen to. But Vegas Starfish, she's pointed at times and critical. She said that there's been mass layoffs in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Like this in the last week. Her video was on April. I just saw it yesterday. It was April 20th. I sent it to Leslie because it was interesting. That they are feeling the pinch of the Canadians not coming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There are a lot of reports out right now about the loss of Canadian travel. It's impacting, obviously, different destinations than
Yeah.
a Kerrville type destination.
Right.
It will impact us, though, if it keeps up, because that's the majority of our winter Texans come from Canada. But yeah, there have been reports from communities losing maybe 12% of their business to like 40-something percent,
Yeah.
depending where
Yeah.
you're located. So
right. I mean,
Yeah,
things
it's
people.
significant.
But then you see positives. Like I got to say that here locally, as far as like hospitality goes,
Mm-hmm.
the reaction to Tail Chasers
Yeah.
was really positive. I mean, I saw huge traffic on my website from just that opening of those
Good.
loans.
Yeah.
So people were fascinated by that. So.
Yeah, I feel like for Kerrville, our day trip traffic is up based on just how I look at our numbers. Our overnight is flat to down, depending how you look at it.
Right.
Because like number of people are coming, but they're not staying the same number of days. So that impacts. Like if you have the same 10 people come, but they reduce a night, it's a drop, right?
That's a lot, yeah.
So it's definitely a wild time.
It's a wild time. So this week though, what is your message to people in the travel industry? What is your
So National Travel and Tourism Week has a theme every year. I actually cannot remember what it is this year. I'm sorry, everyone.
spend money. That's the thing.
It was spend money. But really, I think for us as in the industry, as partners with everyone, it's being thankful for travel and tourism and being thankful for all of the people in our community that support that and help it and move us forward. It's a significant impact to our economy here locally, jobs, taxes, business, all the things. And so, people don't think of Gibson's as having an impact on travel and tourism. And so they don't think to tell you guys, thank you, but they do have an impact. Right. And at the same time, travel and tourism has an impact on them, right? It's reciprocal and
symbiotic.
Yeah. And they think, we tend to think of just hotels and that's it. And it goes so much further than that. And so just reminding everyone, and then also, be a tourist in your own backyard, which is kind of one of the things we always talk about here on the show when we're telling everyone all the events.
Yeah. Enjoy there's so much.
Yeah.
Like last week alone. I mean, also Sunday I went to the VK Garage to see the Little Robin Hood thing, which was delightful.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on here. Even if you can't afford to go stay the night in an Airbnb or a hotel here in town to truly staycation, stay at your house, but get out and have a good time here and spend your money here.
And we have world class attractions like thunderstorms, which are two kind of awesome.
True.
to enjoy.
But it's going to be wonderful for the river.
Right.
Yeah.
The river. You know what? This is kind of what we needed though. We needed kind of a day of just soaking.
We do.
Rain.
We do.
Just nice.
It's like a month of that.
We need like a month of just kind of like not flooding, not extreme weather, but just a nice soaker.
Yes.
So
yes.
That would keep things going.
Yeah. Make a call, Lewis. Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Let's just get out and.
So the luncheon is on.
There's
Friday?
a celebration lunch on Friday at the Museum of Western Art for everyone in the industry, and it's just a chance to get together and celebrate and be thankful for where we are. And then we announce our Sudi and Burdett Wall of Fame honoree each year, right, on that Friday. So we'll do that at that event. So we're partnering with the Museum of Western Art this year to host it there instead of in our parking lot, which gets a little precarious at times and crowded. And honestly, Museum of Western Art is carrying the load on this.
Right.
Yeah. So they're doing a lot.
It's a little nicer place to do it anyway.
Much nicer. Encourages people to go out there and see the museum. So we'll close our office probably around 10 to 2 and be out there at the Museum of Western Arts celebrating with them. So I hope you come.
And there's gonna be burgers, right? That's
burgers,
that's the plan.
And Charlie is cooking the burgers, so you can send it back and ask it for more fire.
Oh,
you might need to.
And
then Garrett at Jellystone has volunteered to cook some burgers, so he'll be there, and maybe he cooks his longer.
One of my favorite photos is on this wall of Charlie and Buzzy cooking barbecue.
Oh, there you go, nice.
Yeah, that's delightful.
So burgers, and then hopefully most of our board is there. I think Doug plans to be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll be there.
Doug, you need to be there.
Yeah.
I will be there.
You need to be there.
It's free food. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Doug, if you got invited to the Met Gallery, what would you wear?
Probably the same damn thing I'm wearing right now. I'm not a fashion guy. I'm just not.
You would wear what you're wearing now.
Yeah. I don't know. When that happens, I'll figure it out.
I love that, Doug. That you would do that.
Yeah, I wish I could just wear a t-shirt and jeans everywhere in the world because that's really what I'm most comfortable in.
I can see that. As well.
Yeah, I don't have enough money for that because there's some like who's that president of Ecuador? I saw something. He visited like a couple of months ago, or whatever, and she has a black t-shirt on and a sports coat. I'm just like, that's awesome.
That's what Lindsay.
Yeah.
So
Well, sort of. He wears that stupid long sleeve thing, tough guy thing. But anyway, whatever.
So the theme It's really long. Are you ready?
Right.
Travel powers the economy, builds opportunity, and connects America.
That's quite the theme.
That is great. That
Usually
is
it's something
great.
like travel is
Yes.
whatever.
Travel is fun.
But it's true. But I didn't want to steal K-Pup's power
Right.
words.
Yes,
you know,
I think
yeah.
the travel industry here in Kerrville is just spectacular. It's just an amazing, endeavor. So I think there's so many things
Thank
that people have got going on here too. We always
Yeah.
have clubs, and unfortunately, we attract, not unfortunately, we attract some really interesting people that come here. And, a lot of times the pine plow, you see it here.
Yeah, I think for me, as I go to different places in town, sometimes I feel like I'm on spot a local or spot a visitor mode. Like I'm looking, and you will, if you really start to pay attention, you see a different type of person at some of these places, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a visitor.
That's a visitor.
Which is great. They're leaving some money in town.
Yeah.
They're making a financial impact on our town, and then they're going back home and not putting a strain on our infrastructure.
It's interesting. We were at Marfa over Christmas for just before we headed back to California for the holiday. Stopped in Marfa, stayed the night in Alpine, which is very nice, and went to Marfa. Was at the Big Bend Sentinel, and the people that were dressed up for that, you're like looking at them, and you're like, yeah, not local, not even Kerrville local, not even
Right.
but it was like maybe not even Austin local.
Right.
Like they had teenagers that were wearing like $700 outfits, that
Yeah.
were like just sweats.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, it's like when you go to, I honestly, Fredericksburg, and you see everyone, all the ladies in the hats. Like, how often do you see anyone
Yeah.
here actually wearing that,
Right.
right?
It's not a ball cap
like
or a
they're-
cowboy hat.
It's like they're, I'm going to the hill country. I have to wear
Yes.
this cute little hat.
Yeah.
So just start paying attention to that. And I think you'll see a lot more visitors are here than you realize.
All right, Doug, what do you got going on, Rick Gibson? Speaking of destinations for
Oh man, well
Travel.
I can tell you that my guys have gotten to the point now where they can tell when there's tourists in town. They always come to me like
They
there's
know.
a lot of visitors. They know, they can tell.
Good.
Well, part of that is because we have so many regulars.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I always bring I hate to use this term, but I always bring cool, sexy stuff on here.
Yeah.
Right. Which, by the way, let me start with that. We got a new dinosaur out front this morning.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, you remember that dinosaur
Yeah.
that sits out front?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one's think no joke, twice as tall.
Really?
Oh,
I
my
think
goodness.
I think he's 12 feet tall. So he's our
Okay.
new mascot.
All
so
right.
basically,
Did you retire the other one?
well,
Sorry, I have
kind of. This is what I was going to
questions.
say.
Okay. All right.
So normally, what we do is we bring that dinosaur in and we overprice him on purpose because we don't want to sell him. He's like our dude, right?
Yeah.
People
Yeah,
take
right.
pictures of him, but if you really want to buy him, it's going to cost you.
Yeah,
So we've reduced his price now,
I got you.
and now the big one,
So the other dinosaur's now more affordable.
the
possibly.
smaller
The
dinosaur,
smaller
which is
one.
the 6 footer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the small one. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so come by and
So
see him.
now's your time, John Davis, the
That's
dinosaur.
right. If you want the 6 foot dinosaur, we will give him away at a reasonable price.
Nice.
But
All
the
right.
big one's going to cost you. Anyway, so today I brought in something a little bit more mundane, but I think probably speaks a lot closer to the average customer that we have. We have keys.
Oh,
Did you
nice.
know we are the number one key maker in this town?
And you make the fobs too, right?
Yeah,
Sort
I
of.
brought some of those, but
did you?
I'll just share these. I can't see the monitor.
Your camera.
Am I on? Okay.
You are on.
Yeah.
I can't
You know
tell.
what? I'm sorry.
It's
I-
okay.
Yeah, we
sorry,
just
I had
have
to- I had to reboot.
All I
So-
see is a PC
There.
screen. Oh, there I am. Yeah. So okay. So just I'm going to throw some cool, fun ones up. You can be Scooby Doo.
Yeah, why not?
We got Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Yeah. We got Superman.
Oh, love it.
There you go.
You could do Superman.
Wait, let me zoom in a little bit closer.
Zooming in. You can be. I was going to say.
there you
I was
go,
going to say.
Dory.
I was going to say the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
You can be her
No.
too, but this one's
Yes,
Dory.
Dory.
Dory. Yep. You can have like an old school kind of.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's
Key,
nice, yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
a skeleton key kind of thing. You can go patriotic.
There you go.
Yeah.
And there's a million others. So we got
Nice.
all kinds of keys.
Wow.
And
All the choices are yours.
The cool part is we can cut the difficult keys. So if you just wanted a house key, there's places in town where you can go and stick it in the automated machine and it'll cut it for you. But there's a lot of keys that you can't do that. So
Yeah.
so we have guys that can do it the old school way. We still have one of those old school machines and you cut it by hand and all of that. And it's I don't know, it's only a couple of bucks. We're the cheapest place in town as well to get keys. Just so you know,
Nice.
even cheaper than the automated machines.
Okay.
I tell you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to do. You know what? Tim Summerlin, the former president of Shriner University, wanted to know about your knife sharpening guy last week, and you weren't here.
Yeah, I apologize for that. It was actually my day off, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not going into town. Just
I know. I hear
I'm
you.
not going to do
Yeah.
it. But yeah, no, he is fabulous. He's had some. I think he went away for several weeks. He had some issues with his family,
Okay.
like Wisconsin or something like
Yeah.
that. So he will be back soon, like within the next few days.
Because Tim needed some. Well, he's. This was a weird story. Tim Summerlin cuts his own hair apparently,
Oh wow.
and
Nice.
and he needed his scissors sharpened.
Oh yeah, he does a great job with scissors.
Yeah, so
shears,
I
all
think
that.
that's what his specialty was scissors. Right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, he does that. He does chainsaws. He does hedge clippers,
Mm-hmm.
axes, machetes, whatever. But okay, so back to the key thing. We also do key fobs, as you mentioned.
Yes,
so we
right.
do
Oh,
we do
yes.
this style of key
Nice.
fob. So that's like push the button and
Yeah.
enter your car type key fob.
Yeah.
And we also do this.
Which, by the way, if you have those go bad, they are spectacularly expensive. At the
Yeah.
yes. So here's
Yeah.
an example. This one, I don't know what kind of car this is for, but this was like $100.
Nice.
You go to the dealer, it's $300.
Yeah, $300.
Yeah, no doubt. But then we also do these. And this is called a chip key. And whether you know it or not, inside of that little plastic casing, there's a little computer chip.
Oh.
And when you go to start your car, if it doesn't recognize that computer chip, your car won't start. So it's a little safety feature.
Nice.
So we do program these as well, and we
Okay.
cut them. And as you can tell, there's
There's
two
there.
sides,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of a specialty type of deal.
My
So we do all of that. There's a couple of cars that we can't do.
Jaguar.
Yeah, I don't know if we do. It depends on the year,
Yeah.
actually. And the way this works is the manufacturers retain the rights to do their own keys. I want to say it's 3 years. So
Okay.
so if you got a year,
If it's my brand new car,
we can't do
yeah.
it. You have to go to the
should
dealer.
have got that insurance at the dealer.
Yeah, you have to go to the dealer, and then if it's a
Yeah.
brand new car, you're paying $400 or $500
Yeah.
for a key fob. So there's that. So yeah, keys. Maybe we do all kinds of keys. We do crazy tractor keys. The only
Very
thing we
cool.
can't do is like golf cart for some reason. I think they sell those keys and the tumbler and everything all together, and you just buy a new one. if you have a golf cart. Yeah.
Interesting. I got a question for you, Doug.
Go.
Would you ever? I saw a thing yesterday that the Waymo, which is a robot taxi, would you ride in a robot taxi?
Sure.
Julie Davis,
Doesn't bother me.
What would you ride one?
Yeah, I would.
So apparently they're all Jaguars. Waymo.
Well, then, yeah, I get to ride in a Jaguar.
I thought they were a Ford. I thought they were a Ford Mustang. The way they look.
I had a very good friend that worked for Chevy. No. Oh, I forgot the company he worked for anyway, but they had all little Chevy Cruises, and they were mapping all of that. He was in the business when they were like figuring out how to not kill people with
Yeah,
these
right,
things,
right,
and they
right.
actually had to have drivers instill, and so they drove all around San Francisco like a gazillion times with all of his drivers, and he was
just
one of the
mapping the stuff.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
know, like getting the cameras to recognize traffic signals and recognize people. Da, da,
right.
da, da, da. Yeah, so but he was in that business for a long time, and
It's interesting. Waymo had some announcements yesterday, which I've seen it in action once in November. I was up in Phoenix at the airport, and I saw people getting picked up with it.
yeah,
And they make these things in they outfit them in the factory in Mesa, Arizona, which is right by the Phoenix airport, and they can be off the assembly line and in service within 30 minutes of them being produced. And they have
once they're done, huh?
they're done 2,000 of these things already running as
Wow.
well, which I think will be part of the conversation we're going to have tonight about AI and how it's going to radically change the way things are working right now.
yeah.
So the conversation is going to be so deep and kind of wandering. We've got basically we've got two people from Shriner. We've got Tim Ryan's going to come help out, be the moderator, the co-moderator with me. We've got Charvy Torque. Mm-hmm. It's her birthday.
Oh, wait. Happy birthday, Charvy.
Charvy
That's what I
Torque's
wanted
birthday.
to say. Sorry. You helped us remember.
Do you think it'd be rude, by the way, if I so
Do you want me to bring her a cake or
no.
something?
I was going to go over to the Snowflake Donut place and buy her some donuts.
I mean, her parents would get business.
I know, but wouldn't it be
good.
funny though if I gave her donuts from
I'm
the place?
sure.
of her
I'm sure
parents?
you're the first person to ever think
Yeah,
to
right.
give her.
A donut cake.
Okay, all right. That's probably dumb, then, isn't it? So
No,
all right,
I'm sure she would think it's funny.
I'm sure she would. I'm sure she would appreciate
Yeah.
it. She said she's gonna wear her Jordans tonight, but she's coming.
She is. She loves. She is a shoe girl.
Brian Ropa show from Peterson will be here possibly, although he was expecting his first grandchild, which I guess, that's a big deal when you have your little girls giving birth to your first grandchild. That's a big deal. So, and then we've got George Phillips, who is a remote worker here in Kerrville. He works remotely for a company called Morgan Lewis, which is a big national law firm. And they'll be one of our speakers here tonight, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
Okay.
So
at 6:30.
6:30 here at the Plow. We are basically booked,
Right.
but we'll have it live on video. The video will be live as well.
Oh, good.
So built all the graphics for it last night. Sent the emails out. It's a really interesting group. Doug, have you dipped your toe into it at all? Any more AI since we last talked?
Not deeper. I continue to use AI on a very small scale, but I was going to say I can't be there tonight. I'll watch it, but please share my sentiment.
Yes.
You can quote me on this or
Yes.
steal this
Yes.
and take it for yourself because I totally stole it. There's this sentiment that AI is going to take over the world, right? Now, I don't think that's true personally. I think AI is not going to take over the world. People that know how to use AI are going to take over the world.
Yes.
'Cause
I agree.
They're going to implement it as a tool, and then that's going to be the difference. So you'll get left behind. So,
Yeah, I think there's a real danger of people being left behind in a hurry.
yeah.
And there's I was listening to these guys talk. One of them, Ezra Klein, who was a leftist guy from the New York Times, but he's fascinating to listen to. And he had a conversation about general intelligence of AI. And the guy he was talking about was very matter of factly like, I think it might be here by the end of the year. It's things are jumping faster than you can possibly imagine. There's one site that I follow where they're just talking about AI all the time. In fact, I actually asked AI last night to write a kind of an overview of the market right now. And everybody's invested in it. Facebook, Twitter, which is X, has Grok. Facebook's is very good. I use Claude, which is Anthropic. I had a fellow colleague here last Friday, and I showed him, here's some things you can use it for, and here's why you should use it. And it was like, whoop. Like he saw it, but he was like, he couldn't wrap his head around it as well.
It takes, you got to play with it a little bit, I think, with some non-consequential stuff.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get used to it. And what I've done, I just use the Copilot thing for free. And I know it's very, very limited, but I do stuff like, what's the thread pitch on a bolt for my valve cover on a Ford 5.0.
Uh-huh.
And it all it does for me is it just makes it a lot faster to find the information that I'm looking for. It's not top secret stuff. It's readily available, but it sifts through all the crap on the internet, so I don't have to sift through all those advertisements. So that's kind of how I use it a lot. Just
I was experimenting with it last night, and I think this is one thing that people will probably have a conversation about too. Is like when you have large amounts of data, and you need help in analyzing it, right? You always have your gut, right? Yeah. And I explained to it yesterday. I have a gut feeling that my posts about Trump engage, like even a straight news post, right? No, there's no commentary. There's nothing on this. They perform better than just regular local news posts, right? Even though we're a local news channel. So I took a month of data. It took me a while to kind of get it to where it understood like what the posts were. And it figured out that the Trump posts have 1,100 times more comments and engagement than the regular posts do. And I was like, okay, so what am I supposed to take away from this?
Yeah, what's the conclusion?
What's the conclusion? There's a monetization opportunity there for me, right? Because those perform better, but there's also a brand hit as well. So what it figured out was 96% of my stuff is local. 94, or then 4% is like, or 96% is like local, focus on Texas, focus on Kerr County, but then 4% is like this sort of Trump stuff that might have an impact here locally. And it was like the average is like 130 comments per post. Now, part of that's inflated by the fact that the protests we had earlier in April drove so much engagement. I think those had like 500 comments, but it was really interesting to look at sort of a forecast of how you could do this. And so I'm in a program with Facebook where you actually do gain, it's like 10 cents per 1,000 views, but you do get some monetization back on it as well. And it's interesting to kind of look at that, as a tool. But I think where you take large amounts of data, right? This was a couple hundred posts with lots of different, a CSV file that had a lot of different elements to it, and you throw it into it, and it comes back with, here's what this is. And I think like forecasting and stuff, you can take all your data and say, all right, let's look at this strategically. What's our strategic initiatives for the year? So,
Yeah, I think bless you. I think the thing that people have to remember though is like, as of now, like for example, if I was to try to do that with Gibson's, the data that's going to come back is very much soft, right? So in other words, it's going to give me some suggestions like, oh, I see this trend and that trend and whatever. But man, people are unpredictable. It is just unpredictable. And I can tell you where that is the most evident is in guns. I've started tracking for the last 3 years. I've tracked how many guns we sell every single day. And there is no pattern. I'm telling you, man. It's so weird because a politician will go on and make a comment and boom, everybody goes and buys guns.
Yeah.
Whatever that 2A stuff happens and whatever. And then you think like, oh man, this guy just said this, get ready guys, and nobody comes in. So it's really difficult.
Could you look at if you could look at like your history and say, all right, under Biden, we sold this many guns. Under Trump, we sold this many guns. Is there a correlation, do you think? Or
we always sell more guns when there's a Democrat. Yeah, always. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that is whatever it is. But I think it's challenging because it's such a complex system.
There's still humans involved.
And then the human factor comes in, right? And this is where I think things get a little wonky. So
how many people,
I think what I'm trying to say is like you can do that and you can analyze it and you can get the data and you can make some decisions, but you can't say, hey AI, give me the perfect path forward.
Right.
You can't do that. It doesn't have that capability.
How many people do you think have multiple guns? Like most people, right? Like just multiple guns.
Yes.
Right.
Lots.
How many guns do you have, Julie Davis?
Me?
Yeah, personally.
Julie has none.
I don't believe that for a minute.
My husband has some. I don't have any.
Yeah.
And I actually couldn't tell you how many he has.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should tell
I
people.
don't know. Do you have an armory at home, Doug?
I got about 15, 16.
Or we have less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, some of these are like collector things.
Yeah.
They might as well be coins. You know what I mean?
I'm not a gun person. Not that I'm against them. I don't get any joy out of having collecting one. Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
I remember I knew a cop one time.
I have other things I spend my money on.
Yeah, no, exactly. You mentioned somebody the other day about shoes.
Shoes, purses. Don't ask me. I got a lot of those.
Exactly. There you go. So
I knew a cop who would work in the mall. That was when I was a kid and working in this mall, and he would be sleepwalking through this job. It was a part-time job, right? But it was just to buy guns.
Yeah.
I think he had like 5,000 guns. This is like in the early 90s.
So how many do you have, Louis?
I have none.
Okay. See, why are you so shocked that I have none then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you know what? I've said this before. Like I've gone out and I've shot the AR-15.
Yeah.
Between 1987 or 1988 and 2023, I'd never fired a gun.
Yeah.
In that period, I fired a shotgun. It just wasn't ever interesting to me. It just it was something I was going to go do. It was something I invest money in. Now I have a younger brother who has an armory, but I'm like, I had no interest in it.
Yeah.
And
well, there's a lot of kinds of guns, people. Some people like the technical side of it, and a lot of the tactical stuff. It's so precise, and there's the other people that like the historical side of it. They collect the Annie Oakley guns and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
So the people that are prepping for the zombie apocalypse. There's people that just want home defense,
certain brands or whatever,
and on and on and on. Yeah. So it's it's funny. It's like most things. We oversimplify stuff, don't we? We just like try to lump everybody into one little thing. It's not like that.
Right. When are you going to get a Gatling gun again?
We have one sort of, we're eyeballing one, but we're waiting. Well, that's kind of
any more boar spears?
No.
Now, see,
they didn't sell very well.
I would get a boar spear.
Well, if you will promise me you'll buy it, I'll bring a boar spear in, but I ain't going to sit there. The last one sat there for like 9 months before we sold it. So.
Yeah, right.
It's taking up valuable space.
Yeah, exactly, man. But that's the thing with the Gatling gun. We're going to wait for the economy to turn around a little bit because not a lot of people are willing to spend a couple grand on basically a toy,
By the way, have you seen these? I was thinking of a Gatling gun. I was looking at a photo the other day. Have you seen these photos where they take these photos of real people from the 19th century? They colorize them in AI, another AI thing, and they give them movement.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It is crazy. You know,
I saw do that with Lincoln the other day.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
you get the idea what Lincoln looked like. And it was
the one I
crazy.
saw was Robert E. Lee,
Yeah.
and it showed him like standing and then walking,
Yeah.
and it was like, wow. It just gives you a whole different perspective of
does.
how
Yeah.
they. There's sometimes like you can tell that the AIs there because of their fingers. They have like extra fingers.
It always has problems with
Yeah,
hands,
but-
It's
man.
still though.
But still, like there was one where they showed Queen Victoria looking very, but then kind of cracking a little bit of a smile, and you're like, okay, well, that's different. That's humanizing.
yeah.
The Lincoln one was very good, actually.
Yeah.
Because you saw a man that had some, again, you think of Lincoln of someone with a presence. Stuart Cunnius over at the city of Kerrville was one that turned me onto this, and I'm seeing it. I'm like, you can't take your eyes off of them.
Yeah.
It's
It is cool.
amazing. Very amazing. So, Doug, the controversy of the week, though, is can 100 men fight a gorilla? Bare hands, bare knuckle.
Depends on the size of the gorilla and the size of the men.
I mean, we're talking about a male silverback gorilla. That's the thing. Yeah. So
How many guys?
100 guys. Now,
That's not
Dalton
enough.
Rice the other day said he thinks it could happen. because
might
they could
be.
strategize a little bit.
Yeah, the strategy part for sure.
Wear it
Would
out a little
yeah,
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it seems really unfair.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That gorilla stand a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think he stands a good chance. It still
Yeah.
feels unfair and unnecessary.
I saw
Why are we fighting a
Unnecessary
gorilla?
for sure, but we're not in the realm of
The mom in
reality
me is
right
like,
now.
let's
Yeah.
leave the gorilla alone.
You know you're on the lead. Do
Yeah.
you know-
True.
Leslie sent me a post the other day where it was like a gorilla sitting in the zoo, and he's like, I'm sitting here in the zoo, and now I just found out that 100 white guys want to fight me.
Exactly. He's like, what did I even do?
Yeah.
I'm stuck in the zoo.
That's right, yeah.
One of the things that's interesting about gorillas, if you fight it, they apparently can bite on the same level as a lion.
I would bet. Let's
not-
look at the size of their jaw.
Yeah, look at the size of their jaw. They,
Yeah. So are we fighting just hands?
yeah, it's just hand fighting. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure Mike Tyson could probably get a lick in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
some, but I don't think you can do enough damage to.
I know. Our
Yeah.
teeth can't.
Well, it's
They're
not
so-
even that. It's like you can't even choke him out.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
too big.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
too strong.
Too strong.
Especially a silverback, man.
The other one too was I saw this yesterday was they had this poor bear was like in a cage, like I don't know, they were trying to like do something to it, to help it or something like that, but it was a male grizzly bear. Oh my God. And there's a stat out there like 6% of men think that they could fight a grizzly bear.
I would like all 6% of them to go try.
I think you guys spend too much time thinking about fighting animals.
I know.
Nah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Dudes. That's
Just
what
let them
dudes
be.
do.
I know.
Testosterone.
We're not actually
Absolutely.
we're not
I've
actually
Never
fighting them.
once thought
Yeah.
about whether or not I could fight an animal.
Yeah. We're not actually fighting them. Just let's be clear. This is
This just
I didn't know
happened.
this is what boys talk about.
I know. Well, I
I only have girls.
did you hear this story though that this was something like someone put it out like on Reddit or something like that? Can 100 men fight? And it blew up beyond belief. Like everybody was like analyzing
hadn't heard
this.
it till now,
Oh yeah, there was
honestly.
like news
Yeah.
stories on it. It was unbelievable.
everybody's
Funny.
so yeah.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh, this is the things in this world that we've got too.
I want to get your opinion, Lewis.
Yeah.
What's the news? 'Cause since you use Facebook and Meta and you're deep into that
Mm-hmm.
with your business, what is your thoughts on them being in trouble right now and potentially getting all broken up and stuff? Because
I
they did
think-
that to Microsoft in the 90s. Right?
I think
the government
Google.
did
I
that.
think Google's going to get broken up for sure. It sounds like the interesting thing about Facebook, I saw this yesterday, and I have to agree with this, is that Facebook acquired Instagram, Facebook acquired WhatsApp. I think the issue that they've faced is that the competitors will come up. Like TikTok's a good example of this, right? That basically cleaned them up, cleaned them out, and took away. If you look at the demographics of Facebook, it's a much younger audience. I think where Facebook has some problems at is where the algorithm is an interesting example of this. Like if I post something about Trump, boom, it goes crazy. I think that there needs to be some structural changes the way that it does feed people, because it's so critically important to us as well, because it's an important communications tool, So I think they do stand a good chance of getting broken up in some case, or being forced to sell either WhatsApp or I don't know which one they consider to be more valuable,
Yeah.
WhatsApp or Instagram, but I think they'll be they might be forced to get rid of one of them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, WhatsApp is extremely important to people internationally.
International.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use it all the time. That's the only one of these that I ever use, and that's just because family international.
Yeah.
We're planning our Germany trip now through
Nice.
WhatsApp. Yeah, I mean, so it's incredibly important. In fact, I know there's a news group in Arizona, which basically just covers Mexico and the border type situation. That's all they use is WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Yeah.
And I just don't. I'm like my brain is like done with certain social media platforms, but
Yeah.
it's fascinating to think about it as well.
Yeah.
So,
I just find it interesting from the legal perspective. The antitrust stuff. Like
Yeah.
how far can you take a business or whatever and be awesome before eventually
Before they go,
you start
Yeah.
pulling that sucker
Right.
apart? Yeah, because Microsoft was. But I think they're claiming there's predatory behavior, right? Like they're buying these businesses so they don't compete with them.
yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
they
that's
do
what
that
they're
as well.
that's the claim. So.
Yeah, I think though
Of course
that
they are.
I think Google though
Yeah.
is the one right now that stands probably the best chance of being broken
Yeah.
up because of the fact that their ad tech stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have to use Google AdSense, and I don't even use ad tech to the level that it probably could be used. But
But their market share is so big.
it's just huge. Well, I mean, again, at one point, one of the things that's changed dramatically is that, at least in my estimation, is that I'm much more reliant on Facebook traffic for my website to get people to my website than I was. In the old days, it was Google. People would search you, no matter what. They'd type it in, like, okay. You wouldn't get organic traffic.
Right.
They wouldn't know to go to kirkcountylead.com. They'd have to go search for it first. But now, if you don't use social, it doesn't go at all.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest change. I think people there's Google touches you in ways that people don't always think about. And I'm a heavy Google user in the back end. So I mean, it is my cloud hosting, it is my email, it is some of my AI tools. I mean, it's a heavy piece of what I'm doing. And I actually have no complaints about Google's service. Now, I don't use the ad tech, which is one of their biggest issues that are out there. But yeah, and I think the other two, and Julie, you know this too, that Facebook, you have to advertise on Facebook, and it's not gotten any cheaper.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot more expensive to.
One of the
to
things
reach.
I've seen Google doing is when you search for hotels, they're, so people are using that instead of going to Expedia, some of those
Kayak
other
or
ones,
whatever,
right?
yeah.
Because it's kind of creating its own version of that. They're like, I've had weekends where I've gone to look up to see how busy we are, and no Kerrville hotels pop up for a search for Kerrville.
Oh, really?
And it sends people to like Bernie or Fredericksburg. or
really?
something. And if you think about a visitor who's never been here,
Yeah, they have no idea.
Right.
they're like, I guess there's no rooms in Kerrville.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Yes.
and so I'm like, what the heck? And you can't, like, how do you fight Google on that?
Yeah. No, and that's
How do you fight Google?
Yeah. And then
Well,
you
that-
go search on a different engine and there's rooms.
and it comes right
available.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my argument for the breakup of some
Yeah.
of these companies because that's not fair. I mean,
Yeah, and it is interesting. Like, what's the algorithm that they chose to do that? The amount of ad spend that the
Yes,
community is.
that is
you know what I
exactly
mean?
it,
Like,
yeah.
or whatever it is.
that's
Yeah,
exactly it. They're in it to make money.
Yeah. Well, this has been another enlightening show.
enlightening.
Yes.
Before we punch off,
Yeah.
I want to tell Doug on the air, thank you. He donated a bunch of
Swag. Let's call it swag.
Yeah, some things for kids' activities. We had a group in town last weekend that
Oh, nice.
reached out wanting stuff to give their kids that were attending this conference. It was the Porsche Club.
Oh, nice.
A different one. And so he got him. He came in. We had some little things, but he
Did you
came
go
in clutch.
troll with your Cobra? Like my car's better than your car.
I did that last time they were here, but I didn't do it this time.
Yeah.
I was busy.
But he donated, and our Gibson's donated, so we appreciate it. They
That's great.
brought some little, I'm going to say toy cars because I'm blanking on what you call them.
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels, thank you.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like little tiny cars,
Yes.
and some little candies and some other stuff. And we had some coloring sheets and crayons. I made a nice little gift bag for the
Gift
kiddos,
bag.
20
That's
kids, I
awesome.
think. So thank you.
Oh, good job. Well
Yeah.
done.
We try to help.
You're gonna be at the thing on Friday then.
I will be the thing on Friday, yeah, but I can't be tonight at your
that's
your
okay.
AI thing, which I wanted to go to, but
Only one thing a week.
I know. You can watch it online. It'll be on Facebook, maybe.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it tonight.
Yeah, it'll be
6:30.
great.
Yeah, hopefully.
Happy birthday, Charvy.
Yeah, Charvy will be here. We're going to sing happy birthday to her.
Oh, fun.
Maya Walter, his birthday was yesterday. She'll
Oh,
be here tonight
happy
too,
birthday,
helping out with
Maya.
the program. I
Miranda's
sent her-
is tomorrow.
Is that right?
unrelated.
I sent Maya a happy birthday message
Uh-huh.
yesterday, and she just sent me back, no.
No, she's like not having
No.
a happy birthday.
No
Actually,
happy birthday from you. None from you. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys again
Thanks.
tomorrow. Have a great day.